And so with that, it seems timely to me that we begin to talk about libido and the sense of the libido, which is psychic energy. In Freud's view, this was something that was driven by sexual fantasy, that was driven by repression, that the Oedipal complex, yes, or penis envy, that either you have a dick and you want to fuck your mom with it, or you don't have a dick and you wish you did so you could fuck your mom with it. In Jung's view, this was not adequate for expressing the totality of human experience. That Freud's analysis that everything went from mouth and sustenance to sexuality and groin to anus and excretion couldn't account for the works of Michelangelo, couldn't account for the myth-making process of Homer, couldn't account for the wars and for the triumphs and for the sorrow of humanity, that there was something more to it. And so he began to look into myths, and he found that libido is our creative aspect. It's our fire, it's our drive, it's what seeks to replicate itself in a strictly biological sense. It's that we all have a desire to replicate in some way. For the worm, its libidinal aspect is very simple. It delves through the earth, it eats whatever worms eat. I'm not sure, it's bacteria or mycelium. And when it rains, it comes to the surface, but it replicates itself. And everything it does is to carry on the passage of its genes. Now, as humans, we have a much more abstract system of symbol making, of living, because we are the biological inheritors of the system of the worm, of the system of the slime mold, of the system of the snail and the cephalopod. And so within that, we direct our libido towards more abstract ends. We direct it towards culture. We direct it towards money. We direct it towards status. Within that, we create symbols. And this is the essence of symbol formation. This is the essence of humans moving their symbol into ritual, into ceremony, into cultural artifacts, where we may not think of it this way, but in an extremely abstract way, when we're clicking on a keyboard and we're filling in an expense report, or we're writing an email, we're utilizing symbols in such a way that it ensures that we will continue to have the sustenance that we need to procreate and recreate our being. And so in that way, I'm reducing it to a procreative and to a sustenance-driven aspect. But it's the continuum of human experience isn't quite so simple. We move outside of that, of the simple procreative method, to where a person can be asexual and still drive towards utilizing these symbols that we have created of economy, of business, of commerce, to ensure what is the architectonic movements of our own mind. And that's something very interesting. So to me, I liken the movements of libido to that of a river, that the energy of our psyche, the energy of our unconscious is like the flowing water, and it moves down in a river, and it creates tributaries as it goes down. It creates offshoots of the river that act as the river itself, but that are in a different way. And eventually the river flows to the sea. And from the sea, it's then evaporated, it's brought up by the sun, it's moved across continents, it's moved across the planet, and it falls back down again as a purified object onto the tops of mountains, onto floodplains, et cetera, and creates the rivers anew. And this is the regression, if we can call it that, of the libido down into the fundamental parts of the unconscious, moving out to the sea, and through the heat and through the drive of the self, this self-organized mechanism that we'll get to, it evaporates, it moves up, and it falls back down as little raindrops, which I see as symbols. So I want to thank you very much for making it this far. I want to wish you a good morning, evening, afternoon, or good night, wherever you find yourself. Thank you for watching. This has been The Art of Remembering.